Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Tonight's video I'm going to share with you how I made the tassels. I had a couple requests and I apologize ahead of time for taking so long to get this out, but yeah, as life has it, that's interruptions. Anyway, this is the tassels that I shared in a couple of my videos recently and on Instagram, and I had a couple requests how I made them, and all I can share with you is how I made them. This is not my idea. This is from Carolina's Crafts, is where I saw the idea and purchased some of her tassels and decided I wanted some of a variety and maybe to share, maybe to sell. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but with the holidays coming up, who knows. But I'm going to just start and show you how I did it, and this might not be how others have done it, but this is just how I did it. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I have a piece of, and I apologize for the shadowing. I tried to do this in the daytime and didn't happen. Anyway, so I just have a piece of cording, thread, embroidery floss, whatever you have. You can use fish line. And I cut this 12 to 14 inches depending on how many beads you're going to put on your piece, but I cut this one as like 14 because I like having a little extra for tying the tassel on and so forth. And then I use these needles, and I don't know if you can see this, but it's a split needle and it's really fine, but they're sturdy, and I like using these because they're easy for me. And all you have to do is, I have these tools here for opening jump rings, and I use this for a lot of things, but it works really well because I can put it right into the needle here and see how it splits the needle, and it goes into the center. Now, I already prepared my hook and jump ring. Here, I'm just going to show you because on camera just doesn't work for me to do this. It takes me a little time. But I just hooked a jump ring onto my lobster claw, and then the jump ring, and I'll tell you the reason I use the jump ring is because when you tie your thread to the top of your tassel, it's not going to work its way in between the slit in a regular jump ring, so I use a split ring, and I hope you can see, maybe you can see that. So I use the split ring so that it doesn't work its way off. But anyway, so with that said, let's go ahead and prepare our needle here. As you can see, it takes me a little time, so I tried to prep as much as I could before I got on. But then you just put your thread into your split ring, which way. You just want it to go in one way. So it's like a loop over your split ring as such. Except for you have to hang on to both ends. Anyway, so I just put it on the split ring like this. And then I match up my ends of my thread here as best as possible, as close as possible. And I slip it both ends, both pieces together, into my needle so that they're both together. Pretty easy. And then I just have a loose end needle and thread. If you can see that okay, I hope. And then you start adding your beads, and you want to add your beads from top to bottom. So whichever bead you want on the top is the bead you want. And for this one, I'm going to do a coffee themed. I've been wanting to play with coffee themed, and my husband drilled some of my coffee beans in for me, so I'm going to use those, and I am going to put a little bling in between my beads. So I'm going to use these rondelles that I have, and normally I put one at the top, but last time I did, I couldn't get my thread as tight as I wanted it, so I think I'm just going to have it sit like that. And you can do this however you want. You can string whatever you want onto it, however many you want. As you can see, I did some with the 3 like Christian did. or I'm sorry, Carolina's Crafts. Did I say Christians before? It's Carolina's Crafts. And then this one I did 5 beads and I added a button on the top, and I'll show you a little trick to doing the button that I did. Just because I don't like them when they hang funny. This one has a button as well. But I'll try and remember. Well, I'll show you right now. What I do is I add a bead under there, if you can see the bead. I add a bead so that the top of the button is level with the bottom of the upper bead. Just so that it doesn't like push out or hang funny. And if you're going to put beads below it, you do the same thing. Just add a bead below it. And you can put a jump ring on your button back and just dangle it too. But that's just something you can play with however you choose. But anyway, so then I just string these on, and I'm going to make sure if you've got directional items, like this one has a heart on it, you want to make sure your heart's facing up. And let's see, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to do these 3. I think I like to do it in odd numbers. That's just my silly. So I think I'm going to do this one. This kind of looks like coffee creamer to me. If I can find the hole, it's pretty well. Oh my gosh. Where's the hole? These crackle beads, it's hard to see. I probably passed it 5 times. Oh my gosh, is it really that difficult? Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. So we have that. And then I think whoops, back it up, Sue, back it up. See, this is why I usually do my crafts offline. But we're going to make this work. I want you guys to see and make some. And then maybe I'm going to try and do a hashtag at some point. So if anybody makes any, they can share them. Maybe on Instagram we'll do that. I'll share a picture and then we can do that. And I'll put my Instagram account down below. If anyone wants to request to follow me, I know it's a private account, but there's reasons for that. Unfortunately, people ruined it. Anyways, we won't go into that. And then, let's see. Let's do this one and do the bling close to the tassel. And this is really easy. Once you do this a few times, you can really whip them out. And again, I don't know if this is how how Carolina did it or other people have done it, but I just found this works for me. So, and I'm going to put one more here. And then, this needle's really sharp on each end if you haven't realized. I jump when I poke myself. So, and you just keep moving your thread down your needle so you have enough space. That's enough of that, so let's get that out of the way. So, yeah, I like it. Kind of love my coffee. And then in preparation, I went ahead and made my dangle. This one I'm going to put a dangle on. And I just did, I have a Starbucks charm here. And this is, I'm going to show you really close. This is just a necklace clasp that I use. Is that focusing? Are you getting the light? It's just a necklace clasp that I put at the top here, if you can see. And then I put the jump ring into it and hung my chain and dangles off of the jump ring. This is what I'm going to use to string onto the bottom of this, and I'll show you. But I already put this together just because, again, it's a little struggle for me, and for a time saver, I did it offline. If somebody needs me to show them how to put together a dangle, I can do that in another video at request. It just, you have to bear with me and have patience, that's all. So this one, I'm just going to, again, this is going to be my dangle, and I want it to dangle out this way, so I'm going to run the needle up the bottom. Hopefully that's right. Nope, that's not going to be right. Let's see here. I want my charm to hang the right way, so I guess if it's not, we'll just take it off and redo it. But that's That's not going to be right. Again, I need to go down through it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, so that needle is getting me every time I move. I don't know if that's right. Let's see. Yes, that's going to hang right. See? I don't know if you can see that. Good grief. I cannot, my lighting is not very, I moved my phone a little bit closer and closer down so you could hopefully see what I was doing. But with that, I'm getting a lot more shadow and lights. I hope this works out, guys. Anyways, so this is going to go like this. And then what I'm going to do, and I need to, I did it on the small hole of this clasp is what I ran through the thread. And that's because last time I tried doing this, I put it through the larger hole and it was really hard to get a knot big enough to stop it from slipping off while I was tying on the tassel. So at that point, you can remove your needle, which is always my favorite part because I get tired of getting poked. And then I just tied this, split this in half. So you have your two threads. And I just tie a knot. Tie this in a knot. And pull it snug but not too tight because you don't want your dangle to curl up like you saw it just do. But you want to pull it snug, and it is going to loosen up a little depending on what material you're using for your thread or string or line, whichever you want to call it. And I just tie a knot as such, and that's probably good to hold it, but I'm going to go a third one, make it a little bit larger. And then, now for time's sake, I already cut my seam binding, and I used the seam binding from Myscrapcabinshop. Her seam binding is awesome. I cut these 10 inches, and I just laid them lightly when I cut them. I don't stretch them or anything, just I cut them at 10 inches. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to judge this approximately in half. As soon as I can get my dangle out of the way. Sometimes if you just put the this clasp on, string that on first, and then hook your dangle on, it's probably easier. But again, for time's sake, I went ahead and hooked it all together. So then I just take, can you see what I'm doing here? Get up here in the camera better. So then I just take the tassel and I just lay them together, approximate. I lay them into the string, and you just tie this on. It's as easy as that. Just tie this on approximately in half. Again, you'll have a little bit of give to straighten them out if you want to hold your tassel up and see what it looks like. And I'm kind of okay with that. They're not even, they're not going to be because this seam binding starts to give a little bit. So then once you get it where you want it, you just tighten it back up, continue putting a knot here, and I hope this is just, and tie it tight. Again, I do 3 little knots. And to secure this, when you're finished, you can add a little dab of Fabri-Tac glue or something of the sort to secure that knot so that you can trim your pieces down. Now, I used a color that kind of coordinates with this green, so it's not dire that you cut it off, but to clean it up and make it look better, then I probably will. But anyway, so there we have the tassel with the dangle. And this one I have my little coffee beans on it that I just got, and hubby drilled them so I could put eyelets in them. And so there's that. And if you want, we can jump through one more really quick, and I'll show you. I didn't cut the tassel for this one yet, so, and these do move around, so you can move them. And I know the coffee bean on this one I see is getting a little hidden, but it's okay. It still will come around. So there you go. So there's that one. And so we can do one more. I went ahead and cut the thread again. This is, again, 14 inches approximately. I just like, now that one I did 5 beads. This one I'm going to do extra beads as well. So 14 inches seems to work pretty well. If you want more room, cut it longer. It's not a big deal. If you have extras, it's all good. So again, I had prepped my clasp with my split ring. So the split ring's already on here. And I'm just going to run my thread through the split ring. Let's see if I can do this a little better where you can see it. So I'm just going to run my thread through the split ring. So it's looped on. Match up the ends best you can. And once again, I'm going to use my little tool to open my needle. Fingernails work, but it takes me a little time. This is usually quicker. For me anyway. And you don't have to use this kind of needle. You can use a big-eyed needle or whatever works for you. I mean, if you can, I wouldn't try stringing the threads through the beads with the double strand by hand, but I guess if that's what you have and you can make it work, if you, fish line would work. If you used fish line to use your center, you could probably do it without a needle, but that's not what I like to do. So we're going to once again just pull that through the end. And this one, I'm going to do a Christmas theme. Here, let's pull this down a little bit. I'm going to do a Christmas theme. So I have these little snowflake beads that I got on Ally that are really cute. I wish this one snowflake wasn't the colors it is, but it's got gold on it. And so I'm going to do that on the top. And I think this one I'm going to do bling as well. I like bling. Glitter's my favorite color. So let's, whoops, one hit the floor. It's always good for the sweeper. That'd be me. So then I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to use one of these snowman beads that I got at Joann's because I just think they're so cute. And again, we got to go from the top to the bottom so he hangs right. And then I think I'm going to do I think I'm going to do these colors. I think I'm going to do red. Yeah, I think I'm going to do red. I'll make his little nose or lips. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be lips. Make his little rips. Make his little lips stand out. And then I'm going to do this bling. Whoops. Okay, here we go again. See, I did it again. If I don't have my bead sitting right out in front of me, I get anxious, sidetracked, and I mess up. Oh, come on. It doesn't want to come through. There we go. Don't drop it, Sue, because I can't fetch it right now. So we're going to do another rhinestone. I hope I'm in camera here. This, like I said, this part is just your preference. Whatever you want to put on it, however you want to do it. So seeing me string these, however, is maybe not the colors, the style, whatever that you choose. So that's a personal liking. And then I think I'm going to do this one. And no, that's not blood. It's a piece of coloring. Then we'll do one more rhinestone since I've got them all over the place now. One more rhinestone. Probably won't show up very well against that, but I think that's kind of cute. And then I think I'll do the white, kind of representing snow, maybe. Make it represent whatever you want. This one's going to be a little snugger because that one bead is fairly long, so it's taking up a little more space on my thread. So I should have maybe, see, this is probably just a good case. I should have cut this a little longer just for the ease of tying it, but we'll make it work. So this one, I have not cut the binding, so I'm going to show you really, whoops, we got runaways. I'm going to show you really quick how I did that because it's really easy. I'm only going to use 2 colors. Oh, and I didn't say, I did 6 strands is what I used on these. That's what Carolina did on hers, and I liked it really well. I've seen some that with more. I really don't think it's necessary to have more, but if you want it fluffy or full, again, that's total preference. This is just how I'm doing it. So I'm going to cut these at about 10 inches, and I just lay it and cut it. Can you see me? I hope. Yeah, lay it and cut it. And I'm going to do 3 of each the 2 colors for this one. Since I'm only doing 2 colors, I just cut wherever 10 inches, and I just love the seam binding, her colors. And actually this is kind of interesting Christmas color. I know everybody's probably, why are you using that green? I'm using this green because it matched the green on the scarf of my snowman. So I just thought, why not? Choose to be different. And so that's that. And that, in case you're wondering, the green is spring green. I can give you the colors on those if you choose in a second. I just gotta find the end. That's the tricky part. Okay. This one's not coming to me easy. Where's the end? There it is. Okay. So we're just going to lay this here. Again, I'm going to trim this a little bit. Just because I like a little angle on it. So this one's going to be, we'll do 3 red. This is kind of a dark red. It's called, what is this one called? Oh, I cannot read that. If you can read that, that's the color. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with handwriting sometimes, and my own's not great, so I don't criticize anybody. And I know she probably tags a lot of seam binding, so I'm surprised she's just awesome. Erin is awesome, and she's such a great customer service person. So, yes. Whoops, I just dropped that right out of there. So, that's going to go there for now. And now we have our seam binding. We can just, I'd like to alter them just so it mixes up a little better. Not that it probably matters a whole lot, but I'm hoping I'm still in camera here. I seem to be slightly getting out. So we got that. And again, I'm just going to grab the center and then kind of get an approximate center on it. Remove my needle carefully. Okay. Carefully. Remove the needle. And we're going to tie this off. And I'm not putting a dangle on this because I put the snowman bead on it, so I don't want to take away from that. So this one's not going to have a dangle. This one's already got its own bling. And like I said, you can do it however you want. But you can really do a lot of these in a short amount of time if you get rolling. So they make great little gifts and so forth. And I love the ones I got from Carolina. In fact, I'm hoarding those for my Christmas journals, and I'm making some for gifts. So hopefully. So then again, and I apologize for my fumbling with my fingers, but crafting can be a little challenging for me. Anyways, so that, let's see if I like where that's at. Actually, this one is a lot longer. So this is where you have a chance to adjust if you choose. I just gotta find the right one because this is really long. So where is it at? Which one is it? That one right there. So we are going to adjust it a bit. I mean, you could probably pre-tie these in half so it would be easier. That would be an idea as well. And that seems to work. So I'm going to pull it down to the center again. Well, maybe if I can find it. Oh my gosh, where's the center of this? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I like to kind of get the knot down underneath as best I can. And I'm just going to tie this again. And such. Another, make it a triple, secure it. I will add a touch of Fabri-Tac to that. Trim it off, and there we go. That's kind of a cute Christmas. I like that. It's really cute. So that's how I do it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you try it. Again, I'm going to try and come up with a hashtag. I was talking with Dana from Dana's Making a Mess Again, and we were thinking it'd be kind of fun to do a collab and see what other people do with tassels, and not just this one, but create different tassels. So we'll see what happens. But that's a thought in the books. So anybody that has stayed with me and through the whole entire video, I'm going to give you a chance to win this by leaving me a comment, liking and subscribing to my channel if you aren't already subscribed. But give me a thumbs up, like, however you want to look at it, and leave me a comment down below, and I'm going to do a drawing to give this away. So some lucky winner will get to have this, and with that, I'm going to say good night and thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed your video, and I'll see you next time. Good night all.